All right, so chapter 2 review, question number 1 says, part A, what is the slope of a line parallel to y equals 2/3 x minus 4? Parallel means that they're going to have the same slope. So we're looking at the m part of the equation and nothing else. And we want to have the same slope, so we're going to write 2/3 again. And that's it for that one. Part B, it says, what is the slope of the line perpendicular to y equals -4/7x plus 6? So when it's perpendicular, you have to have opposite reciprocal slopes. And what that means is you need to flip and change the sign of the slope. And again, you're not going to look at the intercept for this. So we're going to flip it. So that'll be 7/4. And since it's already negative here, we're going to make it positive 7/4. And I'm not going to put a plus sign there. We're just going to leave it as it is. So then part C, it says which line is parallel to this line? So again, we're looking at the slope and we want it to be the same, just like on part A. So we're only looking at the slopes here and finding the slope that's the same. So the one that is exactly the same is going to be not this one here, because that one had a negative in it. It's going to be that third one right there. Okay, so number 2. It says find the area of each figure. So number 2, A, you can kind of split this up into multiple ways, but I'm just going to cut it down here, but you can also cut it up in different ways and then add all the areas up. So here I'm going to do the area of this one, and then I'm going to do the area of this one, and then add those areas together. So on the left side, the first one is 12 is the height, but then I need that base there. So I need to take this 15 that's all the way here and the 10 here and subtract them to get this little piece right here. So I'm going to do 15 minus 10 is 5 for that little spot. So now this is a rectangle that's 5 by 12. So I'm going to do 5 times 12 to find the area. And then we get 60 there, so we need that. And then the other one, I'm going to use a different color here, is going to be, oh, I didn't mean to color that in, 8 by 10. Remember, not using that 15 because that represented the whole bottom, but I didn't want the whole bottom here. So 8 times 10 is going to be 80. And then I take those two numbers and I add them together for the total area. So 60 plus 80. And then we would get 140. And then we're going to write 140 inches squared, because 2 dashes means inches. Then on part B, it's a triangle. So the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, or you can think of it as base times height divided by 2. So base here is 8 and height here is 3. So we're going to do area equals 1/2 times 8 times 3. And you're going to get 12, and then we've got centimeters squared. So then part C is a parallelogram. You might have to turn your paper sideways to realize it's a parallelogram, but it definitely is one. And then the area formula is just base times height for it. So the base is 13 and the height is 9. So 13 times 9 is 117. So area is 117, and then 1 dash means feet. We can write squared. But if you wanted to, you could write 117 and then just the dash squared. It's not great, but that is an option. Then D is a trapezoid, so the area formula is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. And remember that you can do base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. That's the same thing. So I'm going to just label my 11 base 1 and my 8 base 2 and my height 6. Note that you can turn this upside down if that helps with the visuals here. So we're going to write area equals 1/2. Base 1 was 11, base 2 is 8, and then height is 6. So I'm going to take 11 plus 8 would be 19, and then I'm going to multiply all those pieces in there. So area equals 57 m squared. Okay, let's look at E. E is a triangle, so we can think of it as base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. Again, all that's the same. So my base is 16. Remember, you're only doing that piece there, and then the height is 10. So I've got 16 times 10 divided by 2, which is going to be 80. And then there's no units on there, so we're just going to write 80 units squared. And then for F, it's still a triangle, and you can rotate it if you need to, but we want base times height divided by 2. Now, there's a base here, a base here, and a base here, but we want the height that goes with the correct base. So what I mean by that is this is the only height I have, so I want the item that creates a right angle at that height. That's the base that I want. So I actually don't want any of these. So I'm going to use 10 times 8 divided by 2. Although those other pieces are bases, they're not helping us here. So I've got 40 and then no units, so we're going to write 40 units squared, and you can write u squared if you'd like. That's a u.